So for those athletes out there, here are sacrifices that you need to make in order to be great at your sport. Now, a lot of people talk about sacrifices like, oh, you need to sacrifice this, sacrifice that, but they're not very specific. So I'll give you the certain sacrifices that you need to eliminate that I also eliminated in order for you to excel at your sport. Now, of course, you don't have to follow this advice. This is just advice from me that actually helped me, myself. But that really depends on you. Do you want to make progress in your sport? Do you actually want to be great at your sport? Do you actually want to excel at your sport? That all just comes down to you. Now, before I go through these sacrifices, I want you to write down what you do in your week or your day. I want you to write every detail, like what time you go to sleep, what you do for practice, what do you do after practice, what do you eat, who do you hang around with, and what your habits are. You have to be very specific, like did you eat junk food today? Did you hang out with your friends, and what did that entail? Did you go party? Did you drink? Did you do X, Y, and Z? This also can mean personal relationships. So are you hanging out with that person that is holding you down, that isn't adding any value to your life? Are you still trying to please everybody? And are you still spending a lot of time on social media, video games, and YouTube or Netflix? You get the point. Now, after you write all the bad stuff and the good stuff, cross out the bad stuff. You don't need it, because your time as an athlete, especially if you're a student athlete in college or high school, your time is limited. None of these activities are adding value to your life. That is why we gotta eliminate them, because they're wasting your time and they're adding no value to your future. Now, this is just a broad list of things to eliminate, but you get the point. Like, I'll give you certain things that you should eliminate. There's obviously gonna be more things out there, but these are the things that I've seen myself and I've done myself in order to become better, become more focused, and be better at my sport. The first thing is partying. Freshman year of college, you might be inclined to party a lot. People may say that that's a good thing to do because you get to socialize with other people, meet new people, and just have fun. You can try if you want, but it's not gonna give you any value in the long run. You can still meet people in classes. You can still cold approach people, ask them who they are, what they do for their major or whatever. If you're in high school, just meet new people, just ask them, what their hobbies are, what they like to do, stuff like that. And meet new people without having to be in a party situation. The next thing is always hanging out with your friends. Now, hanging out with your friends is a very good thing for your mental health and for your relationships. If you're doing it excessively, then it's not a good thing, because you're wasting your time to develop yourself, your sport, or getting ahead in academics. Usually my key of thumb is to hang out with them at least once a week or twice a week. More than that is just too much. The next thing is limiting your use of social media, Netflix, or YouTube. The key minutes I want to have on these apps is around 30 minutes, which of course during the summer it's a little hard to do that, but 30 minutes should be kind of the sweet spot when you're in your academic season. And I know that's probably really hard for you guys, especially in high school. Look, your time is limited. You have to do a lot of things in your life. If you want to excel in your sport especially, you're gonna have to invest a lot of time in the training and the recovery. And the recovery also takes a lot of time of your day, because you have to roll out, stretch, maybe get a massage, maybe you have to sleep more. You get it. You have to put a lot in your recovery, which means you have to put the same amount of energy that you put in your training into recovery. If your recovery isn't on point, then your ability to replicate what you did the day before or the week before would be very hard. And if you didn't actually recover very well, then you probably won't be able to replicate it. The next is you have to eliminate junk food. Of course, you can have a little bit, but it shouldn't be the main staple of your diet. A good point of rule is 80-20. So eating 80% of foods healthy, and then 20% of the foods that you eat are unhealthy. For example, you can eat your veggies, your protein, your carbs, and then for dessert, you just have like ice cream, pudding, something that isn't so much, but it's just there, It shouldn't be like 10 scoops of ice cream. It could be like 1 or 2. That's still 80-20. Now, there's like a lot of stuff on nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just giving you advice that helped me, so you don't really have to listen to it. But I'll make a video on nutrition, especially for sprinters. The next thing you have to eliminate is having meaningless relationships. So If you're a dude like me, you might just want to be in a lot of relationships, you know, see one girl, another girl, just because you think that gives you more social status. Now, none of this gives you actual status at all. I don't think you should care about your social status. Plus, it's not good for your mental health, your time, or your other person. So eliminating meaningless relationships like this saves you a lot of time, effort, and drama. It's not really worth it. All right, the last thing you need to eliminate is saying yes to everything. I made an article about the 3 habits you should eliminate, and this is one of them. One thing I wrote in it that you should follow is, if there is something that is adding positive value to your life, say yes. If it is something that is not part of your growth, passion, mission, morals, or priorities, say no. Pretty much any activity that isn't serving you or having a positive effect in your life or your future, you have to say no to it, because your time, especially when you have a lot of classes on your hands, homeworks, tests, training, your time is limited, so you can't say yes to everything. Pretty much the whole gist of this video is to understand that your time is limited and most of it should be spent on your academics and training. Especially for those in high school, if you want to get recruited, you're going to have to spend a lot of time getting your training down, getting your academics down, and also promoting yourself to the coaches to get noticed. In order to get noticed, you have to get good. In order to get good at it, you have to spend more time into the sport, more time into learning it, and actually executing the things that you learned. And that is why you need to limit your time and how you use it. I just don't want you guys to regret not having put enough energy or effort into the sport. So this is just a little reminder for you to value your time. Know that things don't last forever. Your time is limited. Please use it wisely. Don't spend it on trying to please other people or trying to make yourself appear better. Invest in yourself, invest in your education, invest in your training. You don't need to live someone else's life. This is your life. And if you want to excel at your sport, you're going to have to be selfish with your time. Now, if you're an athlete in high school and you don't have any extracurriculars, or you're wondering what extracurriculars you want to be doing or should be doing, then this video up here is perfect for you.